Well, hello guys, and welcome to Shovel Knight Treasure Trove. And we're doing Plague of Shadows. Now, I know I haven't done a Let's Play on this channel since, I want to say, Yandere Simulator, which was probably about 6 months ago now. But I'm coming back one last time. Well, this probably won't be the last, just with this old hunk of junk, right? But we're doing Specter of Torment. I do want to have a counter for every time I call Specter of Torment Plague of Shadows. Right? This was my original Let's Play, you may remember. Yeah, 4 hours. These were my personal files. God, did I really? I never beat either of those. And this was my Plague of Shadows Let's Play. I got everything, as you can see. And much like Plague of Shadows, I am going for 100% here. But yeah, let's start it. Specter of Torment. I do not remember any of the voices I used, so I'll just make them up as I go. I have already played through this game multiple times, obviously, but yeah. And I am using keyboard. I do not, if you're playing it on PC, I do not recommend using keyboard. I recommend getting a controller. If you're playing it on console, you don't got to worry about that. But with that, let's get started. Long ago, the lands were untamed and roamed by legendary adventurers. But although the land is peaceful, for some freedom is far gone from memory. Specter Knight, servant to the Enchantress, has given a harrowing task. He must recruit a group of knights and form an invincible order. With each member gathered, a treasured keepsake grows in power. An artifact that can restore his humanity, but only when his task is complete. Now he leaves the confines of the Tower of Fate. It's time for the Reaper to pursue his quarry. And with that, welcome to the Plains of Passage. This stage may look very familiar, but yet very different at the same time. You can notice the shadows are a lot different, the level design's a lot different. You still can collect money though. So Specter Knight, he has a scythe, right? You can just your standard attack, but he now has the ability to climb walls. You can just running up to a wall will instantly climb it, right? It's useful. I don't know how his jump, I know his jump is bigger than Plague Knight's, but I don't think it's bigger, I think it's about the same as Shovel Knight's. And this level make it look a lot different. Unlike Plague Knight, which was basically just a reskin of Shovel Knight, well, I mean like the mechanics were different, but the levels were a reskin. They just changed up a few of the mechanics. Plague of Shadows does things completely differently. The levels are now actually designed around Plague Knight instead of being designed around Shovel Knight, like in Plague of Shadows. Right? So you've got your standard attack. Obviously, like with anything like grass and stuff like that, every level does it a little differently, but you cannot climb that. Your goal is still to get as much money as possible. Money isn't really a problem in this game. We'll see that as time goes on. But yeah, kill enemies, standard, it's your standard gameplay. You can still break blocks and whatnot. There is now one difference. Here's two differences. So in every level, there are now red skulls. Every level has 10 red skulls with, I want to say, 3 exceptions, but we'll get to those. Now, before, Shovel Knight, right, he could jump on dirt, right, run around it. He had to shovel down. There is no down shovel. Now, Plague Knight can break dirt by simply jumping on it. And some dirt, just touching it will instantly break. These are lanterns. When Plague... Oh, I'm glad I'm doing that Plague of Shadows counter. When Specter Knight is in the air, this slash will appear. And on certain objects, including enemies, he can slash straight through it. It's very important for maneuvering around in this game. Again, this level is designed around, like, teaching you the mechanics of the game, and it does do a great job at that. It really does. So, like, we can just do that, and boom, we get our second red score. Very simple. We can no longer jump on, like, this boss, for example, and now we have to actually slash at it. His slash is very, very fast. I don't know how to archive that. What? Oh, god damn it. I can't see anything. Okay, there we go. I have no idea why that appeared. Of course, we do see these moving. You can do it to enemies, right? That attack is very important on enemies. But yeah, we'll just continue on. This level, it teaches you the mechanics, right? That's the point. I always forget about that. No matter which game it is, I always forget about the enemy there. So right now it's like, oh, hey. And you can, no matter what angle you are in, as long as you're touching something that is breakable, it will break. There's our fourth red skull. But yeah, just be mindful of the gap right there, right? Try to hit it as it's swinging backwards towards where you want to go. And then I do got to point out, the music in this level is, of course, amazing, right? This game still has amazing music. And the soundtrack actually did just come out, I think yesterday of when I'm recording this, so probably 2 or 3 days from when this goes up. I do want to point out, all the food is now like, it's no longer just normal food, it's like undead food, which all of it does that, right? It's just bones and whatnot. Be careful, because you gotta be careful with stuff like this, because if you're coming at it from a higher angle, it will slash you down. You have to be careful of stuff like that. This game does that all the time. There are some levels that can get really annoying by that. Yeah, just make sure you have precision. Precision is very important, obviously. And especially now that the levels are actually designed around Plague Knight, it's around Specter Knight, it's even more important. I recommend coming up here, breaking this, and then getting onto the ladder and coming back. Now, as you can notice, we're already upwards of almost $3,000. That's very standard. As long as you're good enough at this game, you will have lots of money. Now up here we see this weird, like, glowing green thing. Just break it, and this will give you a will wisp. Every level has either a will wisp or a darkness wisp that increases your maximum will. We'll talk more about these in future levels. We have a green skeleton. I can't remember if the green's a little easier or a little harder. Of course, you can also just slash into this guy, keep like bouncing off of him. It's also an effective strategy. So now, with that, right, it's simple maneuver. Learn to mid-air maneuver, and don't do that. That sucks when that happens. Because the problem with jumping like this is you only have so much range of which you can jump. So be careful to keep your range in mind at all times. But you can keep like reflecting off on him like this, Just you have to wait a certain amount of time because he you can only hit him on the head. And hey, there's another rotten apple. I probably won't be able to hit this. I got 2 of 3. I'll take that. Yeah, just money is not an issue in this game. Like, if you're ever worried about money, like at one point, oh, you feel like you should have more than you should, do not worry. There will always be a moment for you to get lots of money in this game. Yeah, with that, let's see. Oh, God. Oh, yeah, I remember this. I have already, this Let's Play will be my 4th playthrough of Plague of Shadow, of Specter of Torment. So, yeah, I have tried to prepare everything so that way I know exactly what I'm doing. Within a margin of error, because this is my first time playing it on keyboard. Because it came out on PC, I think on Wednesday? So, like 2 days before this was recorded. Halt! These foul lands are no place for commoners. Turn back, whoever you are. Fool, I've come here for you. You will kneel before me. Bow before the enchantress and join her order. Huh, your cutting words are no match for my cutting blows. I'll teach you a lesson in humility. Come, Terrapin, my shielded steed. So this is Black Knight, right? We all know Black Knight, but they've actually changed up his fight and given him Terrapin. He's not much harder. Honestly. He does have more health when you first fight him in Plague of Shadows. Or, yeah, in Plague of Shadows and Shovel of Hope. But he's still not too hard. Terrapin is invincible. But you don't really... Just keep dodging his attack and you'll be fine. Yeah. That fighting style. Could it be Donovan? But you were claimed by the tower. The tower grows in power each moment. The enchantress has plans for you, and will grant you what you desire. I won't be led astray. You standing before me, which means there's hope for the one I seek. I'm glad you are safe, Donovan, but keep your distance. The Donovan I knew would surely know better than to pursue me further. Yeah, we just walk off. Now, this is a great shot. And yeah, I'm gonna end it right here. This is the start of Specter of Torment. I am so excited to be able to do this. I really am. But just wait here for a few seconds. For about 30. We're just gonna do this early on. Because right now we're just reminiscing. Everything's kind of gone into a grayish, brownish style, right? See the shooting star? And we get the feet melancholy. It's just literally, it's kind of like the Watch Me Dance in Plague of Shadows. So yeah, just do that. But with that all being said, I hope you all enjoyed. Stay tuned for more. Until next time, peace.